Let me tell you something that's making a lot of Australians quietly frustrated. For the last 30 to 40 years, everyone has been told the same thing about property. Just buy and hold a house, hold it and wait. This is what we call the buy and hold strategy, and eventually you'll get ahead. But here's the problem. That buy and hold strategy worked brilliantly for the previous generation. For the average Aussie today, it's becoming much harder to scale. So in this video, I want to break down why it used to work so well, why it's getting harder now, and what smart investors are doing instead. First things first, property is still one of the best wealth creation opportunities in Australia. And buy and hold has created enormous wealth for a lot of people. I speak to investors every day who've built great portfolios doing exactly that. But there's the key point. They built those portfolios in a completely different environment. If you want to understand why people feel stuck today, you need to understand how different things were. If you go back a few decades, the numbers were very different. Property prices were much lower compared to what people were earning. So people could afford to buy multiple properties over time. Lending was also easier. Banks were more flexible and there were fewer restrictions around borrowing. That meant if you had a stable job and your property had gone up in value a bit, you could often borrow against that increase and keep adding properties to your portfolio. Then you had strong population growth. Cities were expanding and property values kept climbing over the long term. So the strategy was simple. Buy a property, hold it, let time and the market do the work, and eventually the property grows in value, giving you what's called equity. Basically, the extra value sitting in the property which you can use then to roll into the next deal. Do that a few times and suddenly you've got a solid portfolio. And that formula worked extremely well for decades. Now let's fast forward to today. This is where things got tougher for the average person. The first thing I want to talk about is entry prices. Property is still significantly more expensive relative to income than it used to be. So getting into the market now often requires a much bigger financial commitment. And because of that, people are often pushed further away from major cities just to afford something, which can slow down how quickly property values rise over time, what investors call capital growth. Then there's lending restrictions. Borrowing money today is much harder than it was years ago. Banks now look very closely at something called serviceability, which is simply how confident they are that you can afford to repay the loan. So they go through your income, your expenses, and your existing debts much more carefully than they used to, which means buying multiple properties has become far more difficult. Then you've got holding costs. That's the ongoing costs of owning the property whilst you're holding it. Things like interest on your loan, which is basically the price you pay the bank for borrowing the money. Then there's land tax, which in some cases investors have to pay each year depending on how much property they own. You've also got your insurance, which protects the property if something goes wrong. And then there's the maintenance, which is the simple cost of fixing things as the property ages. Things like heaters breaking, hot water systems failing, or repairs from normal wear and tear. And then you add all those costs together, they can really start to reduce the profit that you make from your property. And here's another big one people don't talk about enough. When you buy a property, you actually start behind the eight ball in terms of what you've paid versus what the property is worth. And that's because of all the extra costs involved in buying it. For example, there's stamp duty, which is a government tax that you have to pay when you purchase the property. Then you have the legal fees, where you pay your conveyancer or solicitor who handles the paperwork and makes sure that the ownership transfers correctly. You also have adjustments, which are things like council rates or water bills that get split between the buyer and the seller at settlement. These are all standard costs that come with buying property. And by the time everything is done, you might be 6 to even 8% down from the day you start owning the property. So now you're sitting there waiting for the market to grow just to break even and get to that break even point. And then it needs to grow even more before you actually start getting ahead, which means the market has to do a lot of the work. And that's why a lot of Australians feel stuck. Getting ahead, they're holding property, waiting and hoping. Now, this is where things get interesting because more and more investors are starting to shift their approach. Instead of just buying property and waiting for it to go up in value, they're creating the value themselves. This is what we call an active property strategy. Instead of relying completely on the market, you create extra value in the property through improvements or development. You buy a property, then you improve it in some way. For example, you might do a knockdown rebuild, which is where you buy an older house, demolish it, and build a brand new house in its place. You might add another home to the block, sometimes called a dual occupancy or duplex, where one property becomes two homes. In some cases, you might turn one property into 3 or even 4 homes, like a small townhouse development. You could also subdivide the land, which means splitting the block into smaller lots that can each have their own home. From there, you can build on them or then sell the block separately. Or you might add something like a granny flat, which is a small second home on the block that you can rent out and create another income stream. The goal is simple. You increase the value of the property through smart planning and development. So when the project is finished, you're already creating equity, meaning the property is now worth more than what you spent to buy and improve it, which means you're ahead of the game immediately instead of waiting for years for the market to catch up. And quickly, if you're interested in property development, you can join our free property developer network, the Little Fish Network. There are thousands of investors inside sharing knowledge, real projects, and helping each other every day. The link's in the description below. When you build in equity, the entire equation changes. You're not starting 6 to 8% behind, you're starting in front. And you're also improving the equity of the property that you end up holding. For example, if you develop the site or build new property, you end up with a brand new house or homes, which usually means lower maintenance costs and a property that's more attractive to renters. So there is often fewer surprise costs early on. Compared that to holding an older property for decades and all the things that can go wrong over time, like I mentioned earlier. Heaters break, hot water systems fail, roofs leak. All of those small repairs slowly eat into the money that you're making from the property. So if you're someone renting the property out, newer homes are often much easier to own and manage. But the real advantage is the options it gives you. When you develop or improve a property like this, you can often turn one property into multiple homes instead of owning one house on one block of land. You might finish with 2 homes or 3 or 4, which gives you far more flexibility. You could rent them all out. You could sell one and keep the others. You could sell them all. Take the money you made and use it to move into your next project. And here's the big kicker. You created those additional homes without having to pay stamp duty again. Remember, stamp duty is the government tax that you have to pay when you buy a property. So if you're buying multiple properties through a traditional buy and hold strategy, you'd have to pay that stamp duty on every single transaction and every purchase that you make. And that tax alone can cost tens of thousands of dollars every time you buy, which makes it much harder to keep building your property portfolio. So let me be clear, buying property and holding it for the long term still works. Over a long enough time frame, property prices historically rise. But relying on that strategy alone today can be slow. And for that average Australian trying to build wealth, time matters. That's why we're seeing more investors shift towards strategies that create value in the property instead of just waiting for the market to do it. They still get the benefit of the long-term growth, but now that growth becomes a bonus, not the entire plan. So, if you've ever felt like property investing today seems harder than it used to be, you're not imagining it. The environment really has changed. Property prices are much higher compared to what people earn. Borrowing money from banks is harder because they now check much more carefully whether you can afford to repay the loan. And ongoing costs of owning property, things like interest on your loan, land tax, insurance, maintenance, have all increased as well, which means the old buy it and forget about it strategy is much harder to scale today. But the opportunity hasn't disappeared. It's just shifted. The investors getting ahead today aren't just waiting for property prices to rise over time. They're improving properties and developing land so they can increase the value themselves. And when you understand how to do that, property investing becomes something you can actively grow instead of something you're simply waiting on. If you're interested in property development and want to go deeper, there are a couple of ways that we can help. First, if you haven't already, you can join our free property developer community, the Little Fish Network. It's a community of thousands of developers sharing knowledge, experience, and helping each other succeed. If you want more direct help, I offer one-on-one mentoring. We have a buyer's agent service to help you secure the right site, and my team even run your entire project end to end. If you'd like to talk through your goals, there's a link below where you can book a call with me and we can figure out your best path forward. And if you're still here, I appreciate you sticking around right to the end. Do me a favor, give the video a hype and a like, drop a comment. It really does make a difference, helps us keep creating this stuff for free. I'm Peter Kelly. Until the next one, see you at the top.